2014 Jeep Wrangler oil cooler replacement. This is it right here. It's a pretty common problem for these to leak. So 2014 through 21 needs to get the red O-ring, which you'll have to change out yourself. Alright, so far we've taken these hoses off. You want to get everything off the intake. There's 2 bolts right there. As well as this here. This hose here. This car, there may be bracket here, but it's not on this car. I took this pipe off, which had the 1 plug on it. Well, this plug, obviously. So you just want to get everything loose from the intake so you can get the intake off, because we got to get to the oil cooler down there. You don't actually have to loosen that bracket. You just pull all of your intake bolts up so they're out of the way when you go to pull it out. They're not catching on the bottom plenum or anything else when you're trying to pull it out. So there's actually 1 bolt back here. Don't want to miss that one. And the others are pretty obvious, and you can see them all. All right, when you take this fuel line off, there may be a lock on yours. Like I said, somebody's worked on this thing already, but you're gonna push in on this, which makes the clip expand, and then you'll be able to pull it off this. And then to put it back on, you just slide it back on. And you'll hear it click, or feel it click. So push in on that really hard, and it'll pop off. So you got to unplug all the fuel injectors as well as the fuel line. And these have a red lock on them. And it goes in about that much. It would be flush with the black there, but all it does is slide outward. Let's see. That way. So those are locks, and once you plug it back in, you can slide that lock back down in place. Of course, I'm going to clean this up some before we put it back together. If you noticed, I took all the bolts out completely. It makes it a lot easier, except for 2 of them I couldn't get out, so I struggled a little bit with that. But I would take all of your bolts completely out and make it easier, and if they don't come out, at least pull them up all the way as far as you can. You can actually see the hole out here. Also wanted to say, make sure you're extra careful with having the intake ports open like that. The last thing you want to do is drop something like a 10mm socket down in there, or a 10mm bolt down in there, and not know it. So even if you're unsure, at least look down in there with a light and make sure there's nothing in there that doesn't need to be in there, because that will definitely cause internal engine damage. So this is a E8 inverted Torx that you would need to get the oil cooler off. Alright, as you can see, like the oil down in there, so we're going to clean that out real quick with some rags. New again. Alright, as you can see right here, there's a coolant hose and a couple plugs back there, which the new oil cooler typically doesn't come with those sensors, so you got to swap them over. Just like swapping any sensor over, you're going to want to use Teflon tape or some kind of sealer on that sensor to make sure that it is sealed up correctly. Much better than before. We got it all cleaned out and ready to put the new one in. So I've actually already got the sensors swapped over here, ready to go back together. Alright, I'm gonna run these down by hand. Just one, excuse me, sorry. Wanted to remind you guys to do that, run it down by hand with a ratchet or something like that, and then whenever you're actually going to tighten it down, just make sure it's going down evenly is what's most important, not necessarily in a sequence. It doesn't need to be crazy tight either, so just evenly. Evenly run them down and then evenly tighten. Evenly run them down and evenly tighten them down. So what's important here is making sure that you got the seal on right, in the right spot. I put it in the groove first, usually. Press it down evenly, and then when it goes on, it needs to go on evenly. If not, you will have issues. Check engine light, vacuum leak, etc., etc. Two Torx sockets you would need is a T30 and an E8. Of course, I didn't state the obvious. You would need to drain your oil and coolant before doing this job, and also refill oil and coolant as well after the repair. Alright, that's it for the Jeep 2014 Jeep. Oil cooler, or oil filter adapter, I think is another term for it. I hope this video helped you. It's a pretty easy job. You could do it yourself. You got this. Thanks for watching.